Hey everybody, Brett Mix here for Macho Wrestling 101. Hit like and subscribe. I pump out videos every day on the history of wrestling. Talk classic wrestling. I have matches of the day with links to the matches you can watch after my review. And then I also do Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view reviews. So if that's up your alley, hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And yeah, with that being said, we're doing WrestleMania today. We're continuing the anthology. We're up to number 37 already. And this is also a night 1 and night 2 from Tampa, Florida at the Raymond James Stadium. This is where WrestleMania 36 was supposed to be. But instead, we had the pandemic, and then they had to be from the Performance Center in Florida. This in a different place in Florida, the Performance Center. This one was from the Raymond James Stadium on April 10th and 11th, 2021. Still going with the pirate theme. They had the pirate theme last year, but they're not going to change the set just because it's happened twice. The theme, happening twice, not WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania 37, and we're kicking off here with Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. I thought this was a great match to kick off with. Big Power Man match. I should mention there's a rain delay before the match even started. And Drew kind of thought, geez, I got my big win last year in front of no fans, and now I'm trying to get the WWE title match underway, and they're not letting me get out there to do the job. So McIntyre kind of played the victim card a little bit. But this was a good Power Man's match. I like MVP's involvement on the outside. I don't know, just maybe the first big match in front of fans again at WrestleMania made it flow well. But this has surpassed my expectations. I rated it 3.5 stars. I thought both guys did a great job. The finish was good. Lashley ended up winning with the Hurt Lock. McIntyre couldn't get out of it. And it made the almighty Lashley that much better, retaining the title by submission. So 3.5 stars for the opener of this WrestleMania 37 on night 1. Night 1, match 2 is the Women's Tag Team Turmoil match that was really held by the Riot Squad. The Riot Squad came in second, and then they ended up eliminating third and 4 teams, as this is a Women's Tag Team elimination match. Natalya and Tamina got the victory over the Riot Squad at 14:15 after a Superfly splash. So the Riot Squad didn't go over, but they carried the match and were the sentimental favorites in the match. Good effort by them, but not strong enough to make me think that this match was over 2 stars. So I just rated 2 stars. Up next, we have Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Cesaro gave Rollins the Cesaro swing, the neutralizer, 23 swings to be exact, and a big pop from the crowd when he won at 11:40. Great match here. I rated 3 stars and 3/4. Cesaro gets a big win on the grandest stage. You gotta like that. He doesn't, especially over Seth Rollins, he doesn't get moments like that all the time. So good stuff. Good match. Raw Tag Team titles on the line with the New Day and AJ Styles and Omos. Omos is almost 7'3", yeah, standing next to Styles, you can see the height difference. Omos and Styles actually became the new tag team champions after a 2-handed chokeslam and his boot on Kingston at the pinfall at 9:45. I rate this match 2 stars and 1/4. It was your average tag team match. New champions at WrestleMania is always a good moment, but that's all the stars I would rate that one. Steel cage match between Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon, and the feud was really juvenile. You're a bully. Yeah, well, that whole bullying thing would work for Braun Strowman if you weren't a bully half your career. It kind of makes you a hypocrite. Anyway, I rate the steel cage match 2 stars and 3/4. Shane took his bumps as expected. Braun won as expected, as he should have. So that's what I rate that. Then the NWO and all the Hall of Famers came out. They got their. They waited 2 years for that because of the no Hall of Famers the year before due to the pandemic. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny took on The Miz and John Morrison. This one far surpassed anyone's expectations. I gave it 3.5 stars when Bad Bunny jumped off the top of the crossbody for the win at 15:05 onto The Miz. Bad Bunny does so many good maneuvers. Snap side headlock takedown into an Oklahoma roll. He came off the top with a senton. He came off the top with a crossbody. He bumped well. He sold well. Bad Bunny was a great partner for Damian Priest. So yeah, 3.5 stars for this match. Big win for them too. Yeah, Bad Bunny made history here and changed his reputation with the fans and everyone else for that matter, that he was for real. So that was always good to see when somebody comes into wrestling as a celebrity or a fan and then they actually pass their expectations. Because a lot of people have come into wrestling and have sucked. But it's good to see that he didn't. Next, we had the main event of the first night, the Women's Championship for the SmackDown brand, Sasha Banks against Bianca Belair. Bianca was the Rumble winner, challenged champion Banks, and 2 African-American females headlining a WrestleMania for the title, as Michael Cole calls them, and for the first time. And only the second time a women's match is main event of WrestleMania. And this is the first night, anyway, but it's still a main event. This match was awesome. It was back and forth. It was great. Bianca was emotional at the start of the match and had to stop crying because the match was underway. So she got into her EST, and then Sasha had her "I'm the boss." They both had a lot of attitude and flair, and they both went at it. And Banks was a really good heel in this match. It went back and forth. I gave it 4 stars and a quarter. People might think that's a little high, but I really enjoyed this thing. Belair went for the KOD and then hit the Kiss of Death slam for the pinfall victory at 7:15, and Bianca defeated Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. Don't think Sasha Banks has even a victory at WrestleMania, but that's another story. Bianca Belair got her big moment and the main event of WrestleMania, winning the title. So, big props to her. That's obviously a big moment she won't ever forget, and it's a good night as the fans get to see a champion win from the Rumble victory. Pyros go off, and that's the end of night 1. If I had to rate night 1, I would rate it a 7.5 out of 10. But let's go on to night 2. Randy Orton takes on The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Now, this match had potential, not because Orton and Wyatt have great chemistry. In fact, their WrestleMania match a couple years before this sucked. But because it's The Fiend. Any Fiend match has the potential to do something great if they could just book it correctly. They didn't book this correctly. That's being polite. A few minutes of this and that. The Fiend brings out this little pod, and Alexa Bliss pops up, and her brains are black. Her brains are coming out of her like a zombie, and it's a black mess squishing down her face. This of course, this going on made what happened in the ring a little bit. It challenged what was going to happen as The Fiend blocked an RKO attempt into the Mandible Claw. The Fiend kissed Orton on the head and went for the Sister Abigail, but then when the fires hit the ring posts, Alexa Bliss had the black liquid on her face. This is what distracted The Fiend. I was just going to my notes to see what distracted him. It was when after the Sister Abigail attempt, that's when the goo went over Alexa Bliss's face. And The Fiend was distracted by this, so Orton hit the RKO on The Fiend at 5:50. If The Fiend is this monster, why would one RKO at 5:50 when he's distracted be the... It raises so many questions. I give it a half a star just because the Alexa Bliss black liquid was compelling. Everything else sucked. Everything. It was not a good start to the night. Next up was the Women's Tag Team Championship, Nia Jax and Shayna versus the winners of last night's Tag Team Elimination Turmoil match, which is Natalya and Tamina. So 2 heel teams going at it. It was a little weird. They actually gave them a lot of time, and there's actually some solid wrestling here. The Kafuda clutch on Natalya by Baszler. The referee checked Natalya's arm. She passed out, and the champs retained at 14:20. Sort of like the first night when McIntyre passed out. These champs passed out too. Or not the champs, the challengers passed out too. Natalya did. So Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax retained the titles. I'd give this match 2 stars and 3/4. Decent enough. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the 100th time, but this time Logan Paul's in Sami Zayn's corner. They went at it, and it's always a classic when these two go at it, but it ended at 9:20 after Zayn charged, but Owens hit 2 super kicks that dazed Sami Zayn. Owens hit the stunner at 9:20 and is victorious. I give this match 3 stars and 1/4. It was just a 10-minute sprint of the best of Zayn and Owens. After the match, Logan Paul was in the ring talking to Zayn. He wanted to give Owens a handshake, but Zayn got mad at him for doing that. Then there was just a bunch of aftermath there. Anyways, 3 stars and 1/4 for Zayn and Owens. Next up, we got Riddle, Shoeless Riddle against Sheamus for the United States Championship. Again, these two put on a banger. This was actually a really good match. I enjoyed it. I rate it 3 stars, 3/4. We had a new U.S. champion in Sheamus at the end after a brogue kick, and that made Riddle's mouth bloody. I really enjoyed this one. I definitely rated it high. After that, we had a Nigerian drum fight for the IC title, Big E versus Apollo Crews. This one was just a basic singles match. I didn't really enjoy it. It had the chance to be a good power match, but it ended at 6:53, and the winner and new Intercontinental Champion was Apollo Crews. I rated it 1 star and 3/4. It just seemed off place. It didn't seem very important. The singles match, they could have treated the title a lot better than they did. Next, we had Rhea Ripley challenging Asuka for the Women's Championship. And in this one, both ladies are deserving of their spot here at WrestleMania. Ripley won the women's title off Asuka. I rate this match 3.5 stars. She did it at 13:28 after the Riptide Slam for the pinfall victory. Another great match here on the card. Looks like Night 2 keeps having these 3.5 star matches. Nonetheless, that was that one. And then we have the main event, the Universal title, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. I always thought Daniel Bryan's involvement was a little bit weird in this match because it was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Edge, but then Bryan got involved somehow. Edge did the concerto to Daniel Bryan, and then Jey Uso came back in, and he went after Edge, and then Edge was able to get Jey out of there after a spear along with chair shots. Roman Reigns was back up though, and with a spear on Edge, and he didn't try to pin Edge. Reigns gave Edge the concerto to the head. Reigns then stacked Edge onto Daniel Bryan, and Reigns covered both guys at the same time at 22:41. I'm not going to call this one a classic, but it was a very good WrestleMania main event. They worked the triple threat style nicely. I thought it would have been better if it was just a singles match, but that's just nitpicking at this point. So, I'm not going to split hairs on this. I think it was 3.5 stars I'd give it. Great match. Not the greatest match to end WrestleMania. Maybe I would have had the women's match from the night before main event. This wasn't a letdown or anything, but it was missing the X factor that main events of WrestleMania sometimes has. Alright, well that's 37 WrestleManias. Overall, I rate this WrestleMania 7.5 out of 10. I give the same rating as the night 1 and night 2, 7.5s, so that's 7.5. And I think this match, or this event, can be remembered for a few good matches, but other than that, I don't think there's any standout all-time classic here. But there are some borderline classics in the first and second night. Anyway, that's all. We'll see you next time for WrestleMania 38's nights 1 and 2, as we're getting near the end. I'm Brett Mix for Montreal Wrestling 101. Hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment or hit subscribe. That would help me greatly. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.